as I keep saying, modern electric cars, until we go over and produce all our electricity on solar and wind power, which I will like it or not, is quite a long way off, then you're going to have your electric cars run off the national grid, and the national grid is partly still by gas-powered power stations. These are like powered cars, and steam cars, they work really quite expensive. It's a 13.5 tonne motor. It's the one with John Fowler written on the canopy because that's his building. It's called Hermes, and it was built in 1936, which made it an ultimate, the last of one loco, steam engine, steam motor ever to come out of the Fowler works. Trailers with the iron shod wheels and wooden sides. And I know that Mansley's owned two, and they brought a lot of the road making materials up to the Bluebell Railway for the road making Bluebell Road Beach Rail weekend. They actually brought them from the brickwork up at Newing down to the Bluebell on the two traction cables. And it normally has a road train with a traction trailer and a living van, and it's a single cylinder engine, very powerful. Going around it in front of me at the moment is Fowler built flowing engine at the John Fowler works in Leeds. It was new in 1913. They worked in pairs. So you had one at one end of the field and one at the other end. And the winch is mounted horizontally under the boiler. You'll see it as it goes round. So yes, it was a winching engine, but it winched the plough across the field from one side to the other. When it got to one side, the engine moved forward, and then this engine pulled it back again, which sounds terribly laborious. But when you consider that the main way of ploughing in those days was with one horse and one man, and you're lucky enough not on clay soil like we've got here, on the fenland soil, you could do just happily an acre a day. When these engines came in with a 6-furrow plough, pulling that backwards and forwards across the field with a 5-man crew, you could do up to 20 with a 5-man crew. And yet it was so much more economical than 5 horses and 5 men would plough 5 or 6 acres a day. Obviously, it depended on the sort of soil you got. You didn't do that much if you had the sort of heavy clay soils that we got in some parts. But there are 5 acres. And it went through several owners in Kent, till Bob bought it. It was largely worn out, had to have a lot of work on the boiler and firebox, which is, you think of work on your cars. This is major work, it's major for safety, and they have to be done by a professional boiler maker. Actually up in Bob Watson's yard at Mayfield with this team of volunteers. There's a whole lot going around at the moment. We've got we've got an Hellingly porter. He was from Mansfield. You always tell him I don't know what's wrong with yourself. You always tell an Hellingly porter machine by the fact that it's got the prancing horse, as I call it, of Kent, the Invictus, built towards the end of the steam era in 1938, and originally I believe it was destined to go to China, and it carried on working till 1966. Stephen James Fulton owned that one, and I don't know much about this engine, but yes I do. It's called the Tinker. It's a lovely engine. It's Charles Burrell that built it, the manufacturer from Thetford. It's always probably one of the best examples of what we call a Burrell gold medal tractor. It was the first one that was ever bought by Claude Jessett for his what then became the Jessett Trust collection. He bought that in 1944, I think, from the Forestry, the Ministry of Forestry Commission as an engine with the best use of coal, etc., etc., in competition with the likes of Wallace and Stevens and the others. And so it was awarded the gold medal in its class, and that's hence the name gold medal tractor. In front of me now is one of the Wallace and Stevens advanced machines. This one's called Kathleen. I know it very well because it was one of the first engines to come to this rally, owned by then Neil and Melanie Herridge, who came from the Hastings area, and it was always called Kathleen. And my son it was the first engine that he was ever on, and he was on it when he was about 5 or 6. They were sort of looking after. And this is his first, I think must be his first official steam outing on an engine. And he's with his bum, and I mean, that's even younger than Adrian was when he was first on the engine, so that's really good. He's pointing, he's all full of it, absolutely enjoying it. It was built, it's a 10-ton roller, built in 1909 and due to Farnham Rural District Council. It then went on to Surrey County Council and worked for them till 1956 when it went to the scrapyard of Hardwick and Sons of Ewell, who were a bit like in the steamroller world what they were with the steam engines up in Barry Scrapyard. A lot of them got saved because they went to Hardwick, and Hardwick were also dealers in engines, so they sold this on. But it was a scrap piece of equipment then, the Lawson car. School era and was due in 1909, went straight to work for Harkness, who were heavy engineering contractors, and the idea of having a heavy road loco was that you could get, which made it the longest continually working engine of its type in the UK. What's on part of this one? Southern Queen's going in front. Sorry, I think the task has just gone by. Southern Queen's just going by, which is another Aveling and Porter machine there. Very prevalent at any rally you go, you'll see probably more Aveling and Porters than anything else, because they built an awful lot of steamrollers, and steamrollers carried on working and were outlasted the other engines, which all did different jobs. We've already had agricultural engines, light road haulage engines, heavy road haulage engines, and ploughing engines. So now it's rather like all buses are route masters and all steam engines are Thomas the Tank engines. And it lasted with them until getting on to the 1960s. Claude Jessett and his friend Ian Mitchell bought it, converted it to a showman's engine, which is frowned upon nowadays. This was converted quite legitimately because Claude used it for his fairground juvenile rides and for his fairground organs, which they used to take round. And it's got all fancy glass, which are literally for show, and the generator at the front. So that's all there. And it recently completed, under its own steam, the London to Brighton commercial vehicle running from Hadlow down to Crystal Palace outside London, and then down from Crystal Palace all the way to Gunner, known by Guy Osborne and Ben Floyd. And he's done it before, he's quite used to it. And the whole family is sitting on the Wallace and Stevens 40 car at the back. Above anything else, you need to have a regular supply of water. So it's called a Endeavour, and it's like Ian Wilkins' Wallace and Stevens Advanced. It's got a very advanced design because it was designed to roll hot tar macadam asphalt roads. Now, before that we had tarmac roads where they sprayed the tar on and then they... Always a day to see who's the last one. Is when it was delivered in 1923, they were building Wembley Stadium. No, not the new one with the big arch, but the one with the famous twin towers. And that engine was the one that built the road, the little advance of my family's advance, the Endeavour is going to be in the slow race. And as I say, not quite so exciting as racing up and down in between cones, seeing who can knock them over, because the Tasker B2 has made a spirited start, but out in front at the moment by a wheel is Zera, the road locomotive, and closely followed by Sandringham, the other heavy, the ploughing engine. Wait a minute, has Pensioner failed at the beginning? Why is Pensioner not going? I think it's failed at the start. I'm not going to restart the race. I'm going to let him... Yeah, it's going to be dot points for a late start, but he's played the game, he's caught up. He could have hung back, and I would have said, well, you know, you've disqualified yourself, but he's caught up now. But the one that's winning the race by a long chalk, well, it's the Tinker, which I think he's decided not to take part because he realised he had a full start there, so Pensioners coming straight across the arena. The Tinker is the one that's probably in the lead, but what's happening is the Wallace and Stevens advance, opposite end of the arena from the commentary box, is doing, you won, yes. He's doing a bit of skullduggery, my son, or is doing a zigzag, which of course if you're going on a zigzag course, you're losing ground. And another bit of skullduggery coming up because somebody's put block in front of the Southern Queen, which is literally just run right over as if it wasn't there. And so I think the same is going to happen. This is a sort of cheat really, once it's in front of you. Oh, and Fingers managed to step the wooden block, but Casker's little sign has gone straight over it. That was shaky fast. Cheers, lady. He's doing a good job, but now. Southern Queen's Rose, who's in the lead? I'm going to put behind now so I can see who looks likely to be a winner by being the last. And he's not stalled it, no, he's not, no. There was a deliberate attempt to make the Tinker stall, but due to the good skills of Ben Floyd, he's got over that. That was by the other crew, the advanced crew, but that is, there's no doubt about it, although he's done a zigzag course. Yeah, it looks like the bowl hasn't stopped yet. No, it's still going.
That one over there, that's with the coil underneath, cable underneath. He's cheating.
I think by dint of the fact he's actually managed to keep going and not stop. No flywheel, of course. But by just a thin margin, I think we've got. And that, I've been doing this job for nearly 50 now, but all just in front is that Peter's Park has no doubt. Now many of you have seen the studio, Steam Rally, which takes place first. We have a working saw bench demonstration, we have working road making demonstrations, the engines being used for what they were meant to be used for. I think we do have the trailer rides, don't we? I think we have tank engine trailer rides round, we have the bus rides, the 3 bus rides, we have the 2-foot-gauge steam railway, passenger train ride. And of course, not only that, it's just mentioned a very important part of that show is the Harvey's Real Ale tent. It's real ale at a good price as well. The local pub price, a lot cheaper than